Alright, welcome back to the channel. My name is Ian, and today I got a little gift of a Bodanza mystery box, the one and only. Hopefully he does more in the future. He's capable of doing more in the future, but I was able to grab one for myself. I have opened the top, I have not looked in it, because in true Bodanza fashion, we're playing the same rules he does with his mystery boxes. So I have to just take the top disc and throw it on whatever hole, and then once I have gone through all the discs, I can start choosing for every shot, brought my own putting putters until I get putter. And so, yeah, let's just crack this open and see what's on top first. Not gonna look at it. Oh, first a hat, because I always gotta be wearing my hat. Oh yeah, that feels better. And a shirt. Really appreciate that one. But now, without looking inside the box, which is really hard to do, go grab this first. Okay. Oh, I got Robbie C 50K Hex, signed by the Anthony Bodanza himself. This hopefully will go well for this first hole. It's only 232 par 3, just right there. Guess throw this hex and see where it puts me. Yanked it a little bit, but that's gonna be good. Oh, I pushed it a little further, but hopefully that's close enough for a circle one putt. All right, well that screwed up a lot closer than I thought it would after hitting that pole when I shanked it a little bit. So luckily just got like a 10-foot tap in for the first birdie. Let's go. Thank you, Robbie C. Hex. Luckily, I was able to get a shirt, and even luckier than that, it was ended up being my size. So, nice little new shirt I get to wear now. But moving on to hole 2, 323 feet, par 3, is just behind that like pine tree right there. Hopefully, let's get some sort of driver so I can get somewhere close to make sure I get par. Oh, this seems fast. Yeah, it's a Raider. Does it say what plastic? I don't know. It's a Raider. Hopefully this goes well. I've never thrown a Raider before. I typically try to stick to 11 speeds because 13 speeds are just really big for my hand, but we're just going to try and pump it down here as fast as much as I could. Oh, that slipped out. I hate 13 speeds. Alright, got really lucky with that shank of a shot. It is colder than I'm used to. First time playing in a few months, and 13 speed, which not very good, but just gonna try and approach up with the hex and leave myself with a tap in for par. Or run it. Oh! I I thought I threw that in. Oh my god. That would have been hype. Alright, after tickling the chains a little bit, this hex bounced a little bit far, about 15, no, about 20 feet out. A little downhill. Oh, that's not good. I forgot to mention on hole 1 that we're here at Belmont Park in Dayton, Ohio. Forgot to mention that. I think this is the first time playing it here on this channel. So, moving on to hole 3, 228 feet. It's just behind that like weird 3-tree thing, straight in the fairway. Going with the next disc. A Vodum. Overstable. With the route I like to take, not going to be able to throw that. So, gonna try something I've never done before. We're gonna try to throw the forehand around everything and hopefully crash towards the basket, since I usually try a turnover and can't really do that. Oh, that's why I don't throw forehands. That's a roller. Straight into that tree. So I'm just gonna act like that roller was completely playing all along. If it wasn't for the stupid tree, it would have rolled right to the basket. But within circle 2, just about. Gonna try and step play to get close at least. Alright, save the par. Moving on to hole 4, 290 feet, par 3. Basket is straight behind that like group of 3 trees right there. It's kind of hard to see off the tee. So hopefully I get at least a mid-range here. Is this a buzz? Yeah, this is a buzz. Literally never thrown a buzz before, so hopefully this goes well. Feels like ESP, so I mean everyone says it's the best mid range, so let's see if it rings true. Go try and give it a little flex. Yanked it a little bit. Alright, got a good amount of distance on it. If I didn't shank it super far left while playing it on Anheuser, probably be about 20 feet to the basket, but instead I'm like in circle 3 or something. So I'm just going to try and step high and get as close as possible. Yeah, that's just outside my range. Alright, moving on to hole 5, 418 foot par 3, straight down there on an elevated basket, slightly downhill, probably plays closer at like 370, 380. Hopefully I get something pretty fast out of this box to get down there to not have a stressful life. That's a putter. That's a zone. Cool. Got a zone. Got a very slick zone. This is going to be pretty interesting. Well, after going my whole disc golf career so far without throwing the buzz a single time or a zone a single time, being proud of it, this mystery box has got me to do both of those now. So my plan is to just honestly like maybe give it a little flex, just try and get around this right tree first, and then approach up to the basket with like a mid range that I already pulled because I'm not even gonna get halfway down there with this zone. It's just not the disc for this shot for me. That was super nose up, but I landed in the middle of the fairway, which is all that I was aiming for. I still got about like 200-ish feet for the approach. I don't really feel like trying to get the zone there, even though I possibly could. So I'm just gonna throw this hex again because it seems to really like to go close to the basket. That was higher than I wanted. Honestly, those tree branches were a good thing. About 15 feet to the basket. Slightly downhill but raised, so it's like normal basket height now. Luckily those branches saved my ass. Oh, that's bad. Oh, thank God. Whew. I think it's a pure. Oh, that's bad. That's so bad. So I'm pretty sure that was a pure. Never thrown, or I have a pure in my bag and it felt familiar, so I'm just gonna pitch up with the zone, take the par after that terrible shot. Okay, I can make that. Alright, so unfortunately I forgot to hit record when I was making that putt, but did make it and save the par, thankfully. Moving on to hole 7, 277 feet, straight down there. It gets slightly downhill once you like crest the hill at about where that tree is. So last disc in the box, let's see what it is. I think it's a yeah, this is a judge. Okay, cool. I've thrown an EMAC judge before, but never a judge, so I'm interested to see how it stacks up. Usually I throw mid-range here, but it's going to be a little bit of a pump for me. Oh, that so nose up. That worked out. Yeah, it's really short. That's like 40 short. I'm more like 60-ish feet out, and since there's a steep downhill past the basket, I'm just going to lay this up to the base and save the par. I don't like it when the disc rolls like that. That was the last disc in the box, so now I get to choose for my holes. Kind of wish I had something flippy instead of 2 straight putters and 2 straight mid-ranges, but hey, at least got an approach disc and a distance driver. Moving on to hole 8, 280 feet. It's just straight there behind the tree with like a million branches sticking out. It gets very downhill and then slopes back up, so it's pretty true. Maybe closer like plays closer to 260. Just gonna give the buzz another shot and just throw it like straight to the left of the trees and have it just fade in towards the basket. Yeah, it's super short. Threw it nose up again. I've not played in like a month or two from foot injury, so kind of rough. So yeah, I'm about like 50 to 60 feet from the basket, uphill. Just gonna try and step putt with the judge and see if I can get close. Step putting uphill is so weird. All right, was able to tap that in for a par and able to move on to hole number 9, 342 feet, just straight down there. Might be 330. I'm not sure what position it's in. They're all really close together. But you just want to crest this hill, and it starts going downhill after that. It really plays closer to like 270, 280 in my opinion, maybe 290. So I'm just gonna throw my hex, maybe put a little flex on it to get it down there. Ah, yeah, that's like not any flex and super nose up. I need practice, man. I just gotta pitch up this zone and take my par. I That might be in the road. So luckily the disc died pretty soon after cresting the hill, or else that would have been a big problem. Yeah, I should be close enough. Was able to tap in and save the bogey there. In hindsight, probably wasn't a good idea to play this round for my first round after 2 months of not playing at all. But I just got way too excited about this mystery box, and I really wanted to throw some of these discs. So we're going to continue anyway, because I'm not going to quit after that. That was just a rough hole. We'll bounce back right here. Hole 10, 203 feet. The basket's just behind this first center tree. It goes super downhill after you crest. So it's like 170 maybe. So I'm just going to throw my judge on a bit of hyzer, and just, all you have to focus on is just getting over this hill. Because as long as you get over the hill, it's going to get down to the basket somehow, and you'll have at least a circle one putt. Oh my god. That just stuck on my fingers so bad. I've never gripped like that bad before. I don't know what just happened. Alright, so unfortunately my phone just randomly stopped recording before I was able to throw my shot, but was able to just pitch up and tap in for a par on that last hole. But moving on to hole 11, about 530 feet. Basket's just straight through those like Sev 3 trees on the right there. Just gonna try and throw my Raider down there and see how close I can get. Oh, slipped out again. Oh, good tree branch. Bad branch. Yeah, unfortunately this disc is just super in my head. So we're gonna have to work on that in this back nine. Because there's a bunch of long holes still to go that I'm definitely gonna pull this out for. But still got a little ways to go. Just gonna try and flex my zone all the way down there since it's kind of downhill. I think I can get there on this forehand. Plus the backhand's kind of an awkward angle for where this tree's at. Oh, fuck. Too much. Alright. Just outside the circle. An actual step putt I could potentially make. Excited to see how this judge does on step putts. Oh, I just did not give in enough. Could be worse. Alright, moving on. Hole 12. Time to bounce back. 320-ish feet. Just straight out there. I'm gonna throw this Raider again, but this time I'm going to commit to the shot and not early release it super badly. Just gonna put some anhyzer on it, just try and flex it down there and get it close enough for a putt. I swear I'm gonna throw a good shot at that disc, or at least a halfway decent one. I apologize so much to any Raider fans of the disc, any dynamic disc throwers, and especially Bodanza. I'm sorry to be showcasing this Raider so fucking badly, but I'm working on it. Somehow, in a not very wooded course, I've managed to put myself in a position for a patent pending backhand. Putting myself so close to this trunk on such a bad shot. So just gonna try and throw the pure and get it up there for a putt. Have not practiced this in a very long time, so hopefully it's not too bad. That was a little far, but honestly I'm happy with it. Was able to tap in for par there. Moving on to hole 13, 282 feet. Just gotta throw the hex straight down there. Hopefully get close. A little far for a mid for me, but just gonna try and pump it as hard as I can. Oh, grip lock! Cheese and crackers, man. Right, I'm just gonna do a slight little turnover with a pier to get down there. That might be in the sidewalk. I got super lucky and really glad I threw it as nose up as I did, which was half intentional, half not. Just barely staying in bounds. So just got like a 10-foot tap in for the par. Hole 14, 288 feet. It is just straight ahead, right behind that willow tree on a little mound. You might be able to see a little bit through the branches and leaves, but I'm going to throw the Bodum and just throw it on some anhyzer straight at the willow tree and have it just turn and then come back in. This is usually the shot I throw for this hole with this type of disc, so hopefully I'm able to execute well. On the bright side, this is probably the best feeling plastic out of all the ones I've had so far. Too low. That was shanked and too low, but I mean, honestly, still probably one of the better shots of the day. All right, from here I'm just gonna step putt to lay up right under the basket. Hopefully, doesn't roll down the hill. Oh, that's so bad. I didn't even get there. That's a tapping though. All right, I'm gonna be honest. My timing for pretty much everything is super far off after taking about 2 months off to recover from a foot sprain. So hopefully we're just gonna be able to play through it and not really take any bogeys. I'm pretty happy with how many pars we're saving after how many bad shots I've had. This time we're gonna turn around here. Hole 15, par 3, 356 feet, 46 feet, somewhere close to that. Straight there, right behind that bush. Just gonna try and flex the Raider as far as I can. I'm throwing it so low. At least it bounced out of that tree. Alright, I'm just gonna try and spike hyzer a zone over the bush and hopefully land right at the basket. Gonna take some real power control here. That was pretty good, honestly. Tapped in for par, moving on to hole 16, about 300-ish feet, just straight there. It plays a little bit downhill, but then comes back up a little bit, so pretty close to 300. I'm just gonna try and throw my Raider one more time, and just put on a little anhyzer, aiming straight at that left tree. Have it try and turn around, turn to the left of it, and then come back and crash in. Not trying to hit that gap because why would I? That is unnecessarily hard. That is hyzer, not anhyzer. But I hit the cap. Luckily got up to about 45, maybe 50 feet. Just gonna Step putt, trying to run this really aggressively because this is probably the last hole I have any chance of birdieing. Really want this. Oh, it's so bad. So much hyzer. Oh well. At least it's just a tap in for the par. My park streak is going strong. Hole 17, 269 feet, par 3. Basket is like just to the right of this middle tree, just straight uphill. Does not play anywhere near 269. In my opinion, plays closer to like 300. So I'm just going to try and rip this Bodum up there and hopefully skip up to where I have some look at the basket. Well, that is so much hyzer. I don't know why I put that much hyzer on it. I was so focused on giving it height that I just put so much hyzer on it. I'm just going to toss the pure straight up here. Hopefully just get under the basket for a tap in. I'm going to be honest. That was not what I was trying to do. I grip blocked the hell out of that. Now I've left myself with another step putt, except to save par this time instead of trying to get the birdie. So hopefully this is the motivation I need to make one of these. Again. Oh, darn it. I thought I had it. I mean, at least that one had the best chance out of all of them I've thrown so far. Tapped in, saved the bogey. Luckily, haven't taken anything worse than a bogey today, which honestly, still a good thing. I'm very happy about that. But hole 18, straight down there, about 361 feet, right to the right of that last tree with all the branches. With how downhill it is, it plays more like 330-ish, maybe. With how I'm throwing today, not even gonna try and push the Raider, see if I can get down there. I'm just gonna break this into two simple, easy shots. Just gonna throw the buzz off the tee since I haven't thrown it in a while. Kind of want to see this fly a little bit more. Just gonna throw it to the open field on the right on a little bit anhyzer. Just have it turn in and then flatten out. Hopefully, get pretty far. Oh, grip lock. Okay, that's not too bad. I can definitely save par from there. A little bit of an awkward lie with this tree right in front of me. I'm gonna approach with the judge. Just slight anhyzer around this tree, turning into the basket. With how my standstills are today, just gonna do a slight little run up. Not nearly enough. That came out early. Dang. Falling apart. Alright. Super outside. Just get a step putt approach with pure. Just to get under the basket and tap in for the bogey. That is not tap in range. That's unfortunate. Only about 10 feet. Should actually be a tap in. There we go. That basket was super in my head. It is super tilted. Alright, ending off hole 19, last hole, 345 feet. Basket is just straight down this hallway right there, right to the left of these middle trees. You might be able to see it, might not. Again, just gotta break this down into two simple shots. Just gotta throw my hex on a little bit anhyzer straight at those group of trees, have it turn to the left of them, just get it down as far as I can. Gosh, my grip locks, man! Just hit all the trees. That is the most trees I've hit in once. Jesus Christ. So that might have been a bad shot, but on the plus side, never managed to hit those three trees like that before. So, first for everything. Just gonna throw my judge straight down this hallway. Hopefully get it right under the basket. Gotta remember, keep it low. Honestly, that's a good tree. Honestly, most trees I've hit in one hole with two shots, but this second tree, pretty fucking perfect. So I finished off the round +4. Honestly, kind of hoped I would have played a little bit better than that, but I have also played a lot worse at that course on easier layouts even. So I'm just gonna be pretty content on how that ended up, especially after coming off of an injury that I was waiting so long to be coming off of. Overall, I had a fun time. As always, that was my first time ever doing a mystery box and even doing a mystery box challenge. And I quite like the format that Bodanza had created for it. Those first few holes are always such a roller coaster of emotions on what discs you're gonna pull and if they're even good for the shot you're gonna have to pull off. I was definitely super excited to see some of those discs come out, especially that Hex. Definitely the coolest disc in my collection now. And others I was a little less excited to see, but at least at least they had a Bodanza stamp on them, so that gave it the redeeming quality it needed. If I had to give my honest opinion on the discs I've thrown, Pure, I I have nothing bad to say about it. I or a bag of Pure, I like the Pure. I had a little issue with grip blocking the base plastic discs, but that's just because I don't typically throw discs in base plastic, so it was a bit more grippy than I was thinking it was going to be off the hand. So it caused a little more grip locks than I'm used to. But other than the plastic, I mean, I Pure's great. I love it. I bag it. I'll continue to bag it. This changed nothing for it. Next, the Judge. I also didn't really have many issues with it aside from the plastic. I've thrown an EMAC Judge before, and just from a brief comparison on how I was throwing the Judge compared to that, they flew very similarly. So if you didn't like how the EMAC Judge felt in your hand, you felt it was a little too small for your hand, you need something a little bit bulkier, try the Judge. It flies pretty much exactly the same, in my opinion. And that goes vice versa. If you thought the Judge was too bulky in your hand and you wanted something a little bit smaller, then try the EMAC Judge. Without the bead, it definitely does not take up as much space in your hand. I was interested in how I was putting with the Judge because I do putt with a beaded putter, and I personally prefer a bead just to have a comfortable place to put my finger. It doesn't really impede my release of the disc that much for me, but it's definitely a lot more stable than I'm used to. So if I ever want to change to a more stable putter, the Judge is definitely what I'll have in mind. Next, I'm gonna kind of lump the Zone and the Buzz in together with themselves. Again, my first time throwing the Zone and the Buzz, and that was for good intention. And honestly, I want to throw them again when the weather is warmer because I could not grip onto that ESP plastic whatsoever. I had to put so much chalk on my hand just to make sure it didn't slip out super early, even earlier than it was. So my biggest qualm is probably just the Discraft ESP plastic it was in. I definitely don't think I got to see the good true flights of those discs with the ESP plastic in that weather. I definitely will pull them out again once it warms up and I can truly get a good rip on them and just have them a better comparison from the one or two shots I thought I held nice. I mean, they're they're as advertised. If you love your buzz, if you love your zone, I understand why. If you don't like the buzz and you don't like the zone, I also understand why. I don't feel strongly either way on it. But again, I feel like I'm gonna have to give them another chance. Next with the Vodum, I also didn't really throw it that much. I definitely liked how the plastic felt in my hand out of all of them. I definitely am excited to give it a little bit more throws in, see just how stable it is, because it definitely didn't feel as stable as the numbers suggest, in my opinion. I also had it in a lighter plastic. It was like 167, I believe, so maybe that had something to do with it. But I don't know if it'll be able to kick my like slightly overstable to overstable fairway out of my bag that I have now, but it definitely was nice feeling and definitely one of my better throwing molds in this round. And I definitely, if you want something pretty overstable to stable and you want something in about a 7 speed or so, I definitely suggest the Vodum. It flies nicely in my opinion. And after the Vodum, I'm gonna start talking about the Raider to all those Raider fans out there. Can't really say much. Never threw it well once. The best throw I had was on hole 16 when I released it on hyzer instead of anhyzer like I was planning on. I, I, I'm gonna be honest. I'm just gonna say I'm not that big of a fan of it. Not because of the disc itself or how it flies, but purely because it's a 13 speed. And the way I grip the disc, it just does not feel comfortable in my hand. I don't feel like I have a good grip on it, and I just don't feel confident with that disc in my hand. And that goes for any other 12 speed or higher disc. For me, I just feel so much more comfortable gripping 11 speeds and lower than anything above that. So if you love the Raider, have fun throwing the Raider, but fortunately, I will not be joining you in that. And last but not least, the Hex. Definitely my favorite disc out of the whole box. Again, just because of how cool it is. But also was not disappointing in its flight. And I truly did enjoy it. I've thrown the Hex before. I've thrown a Fission Hex. This is an Eclipse Hex. And I personally didn't notice much of a difference. Maybe a slight bit more stable in the Eclipse plastic. But other than that, eh, I feel like they were pretty interchangeable, and I didn't have any problems throwing the hex the first time. Don't have any problems now. If you like the hex, you like the hex. I mean, it's a great straight mid range, and I personally like it better than the buzz, as shown today. But again, if you like what you like, just throw what you like. I'm not here trying to convince you why one disc is better than the other. I'm just showcasing my opinions. Was super excited to get my hands on this mystery box. Last self promoted discs, I guess, from Anthony. Super excited to see his future and keep collecting all of his awesome stamps that he gets to create. Also, I just want to give a bit of a heads up on why I took a long hiatus after only posting a couple videos, and unfortunately, life just got really hectic for me and really busy. I didn't really have the time or honestly energy to continue trying to make videos and posting them up. I definitely am in a better place to start being able to make videos again, and I definitely have more time and energy than I did previously. So I'm going to start posting more and, just continue to show off my progression in my disc golf journey and show everyone how I grow with the sport we all love in my little area of disc golf. As always, if you would like to see anything, if you want to give suggestions on what to improve, I'm all ears. Just leave your comments down in the comment section, and I'll definitely pay attention to those and try to evolve this channel as you guys want to see it. Also, I have an Instagram in the description where I will be posting little sneak peeks to videos, little clips of videos I wanted to make and didn't really work out, or just couldn't get the whole video done. And we'll definitely be promoting more of smaller things within my disc golf game that I just can't justify into making full videos. So definitely check that out if you want to see more. But other than that, thanks for watching, and I'm excited to see you guys join me on my journey.